Excuse me. Pardon me. Well, hello. Pardon me while we get ourselves a little bit set here for so it's at least somewhat presentable in here. We are in Evansdale, Waterloo, Iowa. We've been here since about 11 a.m. So we're going to finish up a little bit of straightening up here. At least make the attempt to do so. So pardon the view, but that's where the sleep-in happens. So but we did a little bit of construction today, a little bit of building, working on some shelving here for the truck to make it a little bit easier to cook and live and everything all together. So as you can see, we're going to do a little bit of Hungarian beef tonight for our dinner. There we go. We're gonna call that success for the night. Not too bad considering how small it actually is. A lot of work has to be done to let me move this light around to here. All right, so we built a new shelf here. Took out the old one. Let's put that right there. So we took out the old shelf. So here's the cabinet, which is basically right behind the passenger seat. You can see it right there. Move that back out of the way a little bit more. So that's the passenger seat right there. A little bit of a curtain. This is my kitchen cabinet, printer, a little more storage up there. May increase the thickness of this shelf. So I had 1/2-inch plywood for this previously, but now I made it 1-inch plywood or 3/4-inch plywood, and I extended another 2.5 inches towards the rear versus what it was. So it's a lot beefier, a lot stronger. And then of course I got this panel right here, which I got a couple of hanging baskets on. Got a hook. I got a couple more things I want to put on there. But here's my new oven. It's a Farberware air fryer, dehydrator, grill, microwave, whatnot. So that is what we are working on. Well, my little YouTube light. I'm going to set that up there so hopefully it gets a little bit better. There we go. So we've been taking stuff out, putting stuff back. Now we're organizing, trying to get things put back where they belong. But, whatnot. We're just doing what we can as we can. So we're going to get a few things out. And we're going to get the the dinner started here. So, of course, we got our cutting board. The first thing we're going to need is the old pressure cooker, the Instant Pot. Let me find my the correct spice mix I want up here. Here we go. So we got our Zedged steak rub. This is going to be the spice mix we're going to use for this braised beef. Of course, a little bit of pepper, so just a quick little push button pepper mill. Let's see. Grab our salt, and we're going to be using a touch of oil, not a lot, just a touch. Well, actually, what I'm going to use instead of the canola oil, we're going to use a bit of olive oil. And we also have some Italian seasoning for a bit of herb. We're going to put that in as well. So it's not purely this this rub. I mean, the chicken one is really great. We love it. Why would you ask that kind of question? I know. Truck stop food will keep you alive. That's it. It's not good food in my estimation. I would rather spend the time cooking and cleaning up afterwards. One, it's better food. It's what I want when I want it. It's how I want when I want it. I'm not waiting on somebody else to give me their interpretation of whatever it is. And then I'm never disappointed because I'm doing it the way I need to have it, I mean, something as simple as a hot dog. We've all had the same old disgusting truck stop hot dogs. They suck. But I can buy a package of hot dogs and do it in the truck for a third the price and also 10 times better. So we're going to, that's the long and short of it there. Okay. Grab my thing here. All right, so our Instant Pot here, we got a few ingredients to put in there along with the beef. But we're going to get this plugged in and set. All right. And then we will get the beef. We're going to use the pressure cooker here. Instead of slow braising it, we're going to use the pressure cooker to break all that connective tissue down and to really make a tender piece of beef. Then we're going to add all of our other ingredients on top of that, and then a little bit of slow cooking in a pan to really develop the gravy and get that flavor where we want it to be. Now tomorrow, we're going to do some teriyaki chicken. And that's the brand I like, the good old Japanese Kikkoman brand. Hey, Cruiser Chris, how you doing, sir? Gonna make a little dinner tonight. All right, so typical, trucker refrigerator, not that big. So we need, I'm gonna take 2 of these green onions. I got a little bit of tomato paste. I'm going to use that. We're going to use a little bit of A1 in the final sauce. But first things first, we're going to get out roughly a little over a pound, about 1.1 pounds of frozen rock hard, chuck roast. Now, unfortunately, the chuck roast that I was able to pick up this last time does not have as much fat as I want. We are in Evansdale, quote-unquote, Waterloo, Iowa. All right, so we're going to take, I'm going to get my trash bag over here. All right. You always make sure you have a trash bag handy. There we go. So we're going to take our beef here. There's all of our ingredients. We are doing our best to stay safe. You know, like I tell everybody, my bad attitude gives me a little bit of protection. All right, so like I said, rock hard, been frozen for several days. You know, some fat on it, but not as much as I would like. Drop that right in there. Like I said, we are going to use the pressure cooker, A, to thaw it out, B, to cook it through, C, to break any of that connective tissue down, get those muscle fibers all separated. So it's going to take a little bit longer than normal. If I had brought this out when I got here and had this already thawed, that would cut the cooking time down considerably. Basically, right below where my finger is, the edge of the bed, right next to the cabinet that's on there, I have 2 plugs in my inverter. The APU is outside running, so we are good. Now, we also have a regular onion. It's around here somewhere. But we have a regular onion in here. We're going to put that in when we start to make the gravy. So it's going to pick up that onion flavor from there. But we're going to start first with, this green onion. We're going to put that in to start with. So we're just going to use a small paring knife. We're not going to break out the big knives. Really no need for that. So we're going to peel off the outer leaf here. That really isn't doing a whole heck of a lot for us. All right, so we're going to bing, bang, boom. We're going to take off the wilty brown bits. There we go. There's one. We're going to split that right down the middle there. Just like that. We're going to throw that in right there on top. Do the same thing for this one. Let's see how this looks. Like I said, take off that outer leaf that's, been out in the elements and whatnot and taking the brunts of being handled and dried out. Same thing, split that right on up. Chop, chop, and then chop. There we go. That's going to add a little bit of that brightness that we want. To accelerate some of that, we're going to put in a bit of salt to help, help that along a little bit. My pepper mill. This is more like a finishing little grinder, but we don't need a lot. We just need a little, so we're going to do that. I'm going to put in a touch of olive oil. So we're going to be using all these ingredients again, for when we make the gravy. So you'll see the stuff again. This is not going to put in because this is going to burn. We don't want to be burning anything. And this is where the main finishing is coming from. But we are also we're going to put just a dash in. To get that initial layer of flavor in. But Zedjev, world's best seasoning. Well, that's always a matter of opinion, but steak rub, keep it in a cool, dry place. Salt, onion, celery seeds, spices, always fresh. And of course, it's got other things in it, paprika and maybe some cinnamon, whatnot. But, like I said, we're going to we're not going to overanalyze it. We're just going to enjoy it as it is. So, touch of water. We're going to fill that up to about halfway up the sides of the beef. That's good enough. All right. Now, this is the part that will take a good chunk of the time here. So we're going to plug this in. We're going to turn that on. Instant Pot is up. So we're going to put this on meat. We're going to put that time. We're going to do 35 minutes to start. So that's going to take a little bit while. So, but it is sealed up. It's ready to rock and roll. So we are going to get a few other things out so that we can start really preparing for the rest of it. Let's see here. We got a potato. I'm going to use that. And there's really not much else we need. Like I said, we got some onion, but this is going to go into the final product. This is going to take, really any time at all, because it's an older potato. It's going a little bit soft, so it's kept in a cool, dry place. So you see, no eyes. I've had this potato for about 3.5, 4 weeks. But proper storage, you don't have to worry about the potato. Well, see, every truck is going to be different. Some trucks don't even have, inverters in them. Well, yes, I'm actually on 3 loads right now, Chris. I have you can look this up online real quick if you want. I got a John Deere 5410 tractor with a snowblower attachment on the rear. It's got a front bucket, small size tractor. Monday, when John Deere, and this the 5410 is an old model. They don't make this anymore. Why is that wrong? But sorry, the little thing up there to deal with. But so they don't make that model anymore. So it's an older thing. But I'm picking up 2 brand new, straight from the John Deere factory in Dubuque, Iowa. 2 little mini skid steers, like little bobcats. Pardon me. We're picking those up tomorrow. We're taking the 2 skid steers to Cincinnati, Ohio. And once you drop those off, we're going up to Sheffield, Vermont, where we're going to be dropping off the 5410 tractor. So, we are pretty much, just waiting the weekend until we can go pick up our load, which is about a little over an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away from where we are currently. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Let me grab a Halls here so I'm not getting all stuffed. But we are, like I said, in the middle of 3 loads right now. But other than that, we are good to go. So we have about 3/4 of an onion here. Now this is about a little bit larger than a softball, a little bit smaller than a softball. Baseball size. Good size onion. So we're going to take about 7/8 of this to put into our dinner. There we go. Just going to put that back up in the refrigerator in a moment. So we're just going to, like I said, just like that. Just going to, quickly. So even with a small knife, you know what you're doing. It's not too bad. I mean, larger knife, of course, a good chef knife makes it easier to cut. You just have to be a little more focused with the smaller knife. So just got that sliced up like that. We got a little bowl to put that in. Right off the side there, we go. Dang it, dang fly got in somehow. Of course, he doesn't bother me while I'm back here doing work. As soon as I turn the camera on, then he comes by. Jackass. So all this onion is going right into the final preparation. In there. And my wipes. What do I do with my wipes? Oh. I put them in the cabinet where I didn't need them. All right. So we're going to slide this out of the way real quick. Grab my handy dandy wipes. Slide that right back over where it belongs. There we go. All right, let's just stick that out the way. That's fine where it is. So we got our onions prepared. Like I said, the only thing we got to let do is in the cooking liquid, in the gravy we're going to make, we're going to be cooking the potato in that. So it will take a little bit of time, but not too long because it's, like I said, older potato, a little bit soft, but still good. Hey, Diana SFNG. All right. The primary thing we are using is this Zedged steak rub. It's a Hungarian mix. We got a little bit of olive oil in there, a little bit of salt, pepper, some Italian seasoning, a little bit of tomato paste, a little bit of A1 sauce, and that should be A-okay. So we also have the chicken variety, which is really good. That's the one that got me hooked on this brand. Kane Henson, how you doing? We also have a fish variety, which I haven't tried that one yet. That's the one I haven't tried yet. And we have the pork rub or rib rub, which I haven't tried this one either. So the beef and the fish, the beef and the pork or chicken I've tried, but the rest of them I have not as of yet. And Lori, nice to have you in. Thanks for coming in. So the Instant Pot is doing its thing. It's heating up. It's developing its pressure. We got the beef, some green onion, a few of the ingredients here in there, and we got that sitting on at high pressure for about 35 minutes. We're going from frozen chuck roast with not as much fat as I would like. We're going to get that, so all that connective tissue. To be honest, I've never tried a Montreal spice. I've seen it. I've never actually tried it, so I can't honestly say that it is. But just imagine Hungarian cooking, the type of spices you're going to encounter with that. That's pretty much what you're going to get. All right, so This is my little one-hand pepper mill. Push button right there. Rides right out there. Great little handy thing on the truck. So a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, touch of the spice rub, bit of olive oil, water, green onion, and basically about a pound and an eighth of chuck roast. We got basically just a little under 3/4 of a almost softball sized onion sliced up. We got some potato. We're gonna dice that up, put that in, make our gravy. So we're gonna be good. All right, so we're gonna quickly wipe off our utensils here. So always easier to do it now than do it later. All right, our knife as well. We could use a big old kitchen knife, but didn't really see the need for it. All right. All right. So like I tried to show before, let me move the light around here. So this is what I was doing today. Building this shelf, which replaced another one. We may use a little bit thicker plywood. Yeah. So we got, like I said, we got this shelf here, a little bit thicker plywood here, because this oven here is a little bit heavier than the last microwave I had. This is got the air fryer, it's got the convection oven, it's got a little bit of a grill feature, dehydrator feature. So hopefully this one lasts better than the last one, which just blew up on me. Thank you, Emerald Lagasse. Then also we have this panel right here, which has a couple hanging baskets. I'm going to have a series of hooks. I got one hook up there now, but a series of baskets here that, helps to provide a little bit more storage than what you normally would get. I set that right up there. Sorry about that light, but all right. So this is actually finally reached optimum pressure and temperature. So 35 minutes, this will be ready to go. Mr. Roland Keith, how you doing, sir? Good old Raleigh. All right, so now we got our knife clean. We can stick that back into its little shelf here. Its little drawer. All right, so like I said, we're going to put this away. We don't have a lot of vegetables at the moment. I got some peppers. I was thinking of doing a pepper steak tonight, but pepper steak, I need to have rice in order to eat it properly. But since I'm making a teriyaki chicken tomorrow, I'll just save that for later. Like I said, we got, I can still make some fajitas, on the fly. So I can still use that for fajitas. Or plus tomorrow, since I got a dozen eggs right here, a dozen eggs, some green onion. I got a, like I said, red, yellow, and green bell pepper. I got cheese. I got butter. I got bacon. Tomorrow morning, I was going to do it today when I got parked, but I got busy with construction and cleaning up, whatnot. So I'm gonna do the omelet tomorrow early in the morning, and then we'll go from there for the rest of dinner. All right, so pardon me. So like I said, it's a bit of a mess here when you're trying to do some construction, but I think we got ourselves set up pretty decently. So I had recently put up a little post on the Facebook asking other drivers, other truck drivers, if you cook in the truck, and this is a trucking, cooking in the truck, group, how many of the other truck drivers are using real plates, real forks and spoons and whatnot, and who is using paper and plastic? You know, because, like I said, I use real, plates. Now this is from Mikasa. This is a pattern that I used to get something very similar from Williams Sonoma, but then they just discontinued it. So I got this one. So we'll be using that plate here in a little bit to finally, put it all together. I got that, and in case you haven't seen it, I also got my real imported from Japan, ramen bowls. Got a little bit of the cloud there. You got the dragon. On the inside, you got the dragon and the cloud. So, I eat off of real plates, real dishes. Yes, I have to wash them, but it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, I act as if it's just in a hat. Rarely do I do that. I mean, there have been times where I have. I use the Instant Pot. That's the only thing that I will have running while I'm going down the road is the Instant Pot because it's sealed. And I can put it in where it's wedged in so it doesn't tip over. I mean, I'm not a maniac behind the wheel anyway, so it's not that possibly is pretty small, but I always make sure that things are secure. But, rarely do I have the need to start it early. I mean, because the Instant Pot pressure cooker, like I said, this beef in here is going to go from frozen solid to fairly tender in a little over half an hour. A little over half an hour. Now, we're going to be putting it, taking it out, mixing some other stuff in, putting it back in for a little bit more. So it does take a little bit longer from frozen, but that's part of what I want to show here. I want to show how you can go from a last minute, oh my goodness, I forgot to do this, taking something out of the freezer, and you can still use the tools we have to make an amazing meal. I mean, it's one of those things where if I had the time, I could do so. But it's not just the time for me, it's also the space. Like I said, 5.5 feet front to back is all my living space. Then you take out the refrigerator, the cabinet. And this is mirrored on your side as well. There's 2 open cabinets on your side. All these cubbies up here. The bed, which is basically it's a twin or a full-size bed. And then that leaves about this little space here between the cabinets, which is about, 4 foot by 2 foot, roughly. That's all the floor space that I have. And then I got to put in all my stuff, all my clothes, all my camera gear, all my cooking, all my kitchen. Now I have way more stuff for cooking than almost anybody else, unless they have an extended sleeper. If they have a super sleeper, they typically going to have more cabinetry. But even then, I'm comparable to what some of them guys are carrying. Other drivers will have an Instant Pot. Other drivers will have a microwave, convection oven, air fryer, whatnot unit. They will have hot plates. They will have a panini press or a little George Foreman grill. I also have a stick blender. Most drivers will not have a stick blender. But we're probably going to be using that for making our gravy nice and smooth. Now, as far as I'm aware, no truck driver has one of these. This is a pasta machine. I make fresh pasta in the truck. I don't know of any other truck driver that's currently doing that. So I am a bit odd in that respect. So, but, let me get myself comfy here. So, there's too many places out here on the road to eat. But the vast majority of them either are overpriced, underdelivered, disappointing, or just plain disgusting. You don't get any real options. The only option is, do I want Burger King? Do I want Wendy's? Do I want McDonald's? Okay? We all know what they are. We all know what to expect from them. Hey, TJ Jones, how you doing, sir? You know, then you got the Waffle House, Huddle House, Denny's. Yeah, and then your small mom and pop restaurant. But they're all doing basically the same exact thing. Mediocre, overpriced. Half the time it's poor service. You know, so it's like, yeah, I mean, there are times where I go in and give me some Taco Bell or some Popeyes or Kentucky Fried Chicken or something. Because I just need something. Whereas, if I can do that myself, why wouldn't I? You know, it's so simple and easy to do. Pardon me. I mean, yes, I sacrifice a little bit of time and energy by doing the preparation and cooking myself, and, you know, the cleaning up part, which is never the fun part, but it's got to be done. Oh, just do it in paper and just microwave it and throw it away. Yeah, but I don't want crap, you know? I mean, there's two things I do the most in a microwave. A bag of popcorn and a baked potato. Or heat up some leftovers that's already in my bowl. You know, if I didn't finish everything in my bowl, put it in a Ziploc bag or a piece of aluminum foil, throw it in the refrigerator, bring it out, pop it in, heat it up real quick. Add a little extra water to it so it comes out, you know, somewhat close to what you want. But, oops, let me move that out the way because that's a little too bright in the screen there. So, you know, I say it repeatedly. I make better food. I make what I want, when I want, how I want. You know, anybody can make this recipe. Any restaurant can do it. I'm not using any secret technique or super, you know, I climbed to the top of the Himalayas to meet a monk who gave me this special spice. No. I'm doing whatever you can do in a house, whatever you can do in a restaurant. That's all I'm doing. But because I'm getting myself exactly what I want, I enjoy it a lot better, you know? Like I said, this Hungarian beef, I will not find this anywhere in America at a restaurant. Now, there are Hungarian restaurants, there are Hungarian cookbooks, but this is my recipe, what I like, how I like it. I'm not going in here to the Pilot Flying J and getting it. I'm not walking across the street to McDonald's or Arby's, not getting it there. I'm not going over to the Road Ranger up here. I'm not picking up my phone and using DoorDash and finding something and getting precisely what I want. And like I said, you know, I'm going to get it for 1/3 the price. Guaranteed. And what do I have to do? I have to wash the dishes. Big deal. I have to spend a little bit of time cooking. Big deal. I enjoy cooking. That's the other upside. I enjoy cooking. So, you know, it's an easy thing to do, which I really don't understand why more people, more truck drivers don't. Why anybody in a house or an apartment or in an RV, why they don't cook more themselves. I really don't understand that. So, you know, it's for me, cooking is one of those simple pleasures in life. It really, really is. You know, it almost nothing is better than actually cooking my own meal. You know, besides, you know, growing my own food, raising my own animals, making my own butter, making my own cheese, making my own jam, making my own, you know, olive oil, you know, doing all that myself. I prefer that. I mean, let's see, let's go ahead and let's open this up to other people here. If you want to come on in, feel free to come on in. We'll, you know, have a little more personal chit chat. If you want to come on in, there's the link for you. So you know, when I want an omelet, like I'm going to have tomorrow morning, I get to have it precisely the way I want it. You know, I can tell the waitress I want the omelet cooked in butter, or I want the omelet cooked in bacon fat. Are they going to do it? No. Are they going to do it my way? No. They're going to do it their way and overcharge me for it. I mean, several days ago, I stopped and I got 4 eggs, sunny side up. No pepper on them. Overcooked on the bottom. The yolk was starting to congeal. So you can't even do an egg right. I wanted some diced potatoes. What do they come out with? You know, big chunky potatoes like this. It's like, you couldn't dice a potato? I mean, how hard is it to dice a potato? You're working in a kitchen. You have a knife. Dice a freaking potato and fry it up. It's not hard. But that's the price you pay for having someone else do the work. And they're going to do as little as they can. Which is the main downside. They're going to do it as lazily and as cheaply as they can. Why am I paying for that? Why should I pay you $12 for a bit of potato, a bit of toast, 2-3 strips of bacon, 4 eggs, and I'm paying you $12 for that? And you can't even do that to my satisfaction? Hey, Mr. Ross Romes, how you doing, sir? I know it's going on midnight there for you. So, you know, like I said, when I want chicken fajitas, I don't want to have to search for somebody else who's making them. Break out a pan and do it right here. I mean, I got the tortillas, I got the chicken, I got the beef, I got the refried beans, I got, you know, all the vegetables I want in them. I got the spices. So why should I, you know, pay someone else to do it when I can do it? I'm not trying to be immodest here, but I can do it 1,000 times better than there. Beef is in the Instant Pot. Right there, cooking away. We got another 18 minutes before we open that up. We got our onion all chopped and ready. We got our potato ready. We're going to dice that up. We got most of our other ingredients right here. We still got a little bit of A1 steak sauce up here as well. There's Salty Dog. Like I said, you know, so I find it odd that more drivers not only don't cook, but specifically refuse to cook. All right, so I'm not trying to be mean or, you know, calling anybody out or, you know, having an argument with anybody. But I'm going to use one of the biggest YouTubing truck drivers out there. I have 1,500 watt inverter here, there, Raleigh. But Trucker Josh, TJV, I think most of us watch truck videos. We've seen or heard about Trucker Josh. There are things he does that I think are perfect, are very well done. But the two things that I just, I'm going to confine this to food. The two things that he does, which I just don't understand. I simply don't understand. One, every single time, every day, oh, pardon me, he's looking for coffee. Got to find some coffee. Got to get some coffee. Where's the coffee? They don't have any coffee. Why can't I get my coffee? I hate this coffee. I like that coffee. Where's my coffee? Well, why don't you have a coffee maker on the truck? You will never worry about where your coffee is or if it's good coffee or bad coffee. You get precisely the coffee you want. But he does it every day, and people have been typing for years. I do it too. Josh, put a coffee maker on your truck, click, 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 send, but refuses to do so. We are currently parked in Evansdale, quote unquote, Waterloo, Iowa, right off of I-380. But like I said, then also cooking. I see this all the time. Some of these truck drivers, they eat out every single meal. Why? And then the opposite of that, the flip side of their argument for going to the restaurant. Hey, JBW Vlogs, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. We got about 15 minutes before we open this Instant Pot up, so we will take a look at that in a moment. But like I said, some of these truck drivers, like Trucker Josh, always complaining about money. We got to worry about money. We got to earn this money. We got to do this money. We got to money. Well, you're doing nothing to save the money that you do earn. Why? I said, so every week I spend less than $50 for an entire week's worth of food. We still got a good ways to go. Like I said, we're at the very beginning of the cooking process, so you are actually right on time, so don't worry about it. So we're going to do a little bit of Hungarian beef here. Let me grab the can here, if I can find it. Oh, here it is. So you can get this spice through Amazon. This is the spice we're going to be using. This is the main flavoring we're going to use. We got a little bit of olive oil. We got some onion, Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. Salt, black pepper, bit of tomato paste. We're going to put a little bit of A1 sauce in there as well. And we're going to put a bit of potato in there. We dice a little bit of potato. And we're going to make a nice gravy. We're going to thicken it up. And we're more than likely going to put in the stick blender onto that to really get it nice and smooth and creamy. We'll see how it turns out. A pack of smokes here. Well, the only time I ever bought cigarettes and used cigarettes was when I was a kid in Japan. We would buy a pack of cigarettes for like the 5 of us. We spend all of our money on fireworks. We'd be lighting off fireworks, out by the river. And we just use the cigarettes because it's easier than flicking a bic or lighting a match. Light one cigarette, it lasts a lot longer. Light off more fireworks. Sorry. That's the only reason we ever bought cigarettes as a kid. But like I said, but that's a pretty big shopping haul for me because this little thing here you know, this little refrigerator does not hold a lot of food. Oh, well, what happened to you? Hopefully you're okay. No real damage to the truck. I mean, hopefully it's only like a flat tire. Quebec is on holiday. Or what holiday is going on in Quebec? I have no idea. Oops, somebody is missed an audio call. Well, oops. I just tell them I'm on the live stream. There we go. But like I said, I just find it odd, I'll say it again, why you wouldn't want to have the most important thing in your life that you absolutely require: air, water, salt, food, then shelter, then warmth or cooling. The air you're going to get no matter where you are. Water, anybody can pick up a thing of water anywhere in America. Anywhere in Canada, you can pick up a bottle of water, a gallon or a liter of water. Salt, dirt cheap. Pick it up at any restaurant or any convenience store, pretty much, any grocery store. So the thing that makes life really, truly enjoyable is your food. That's the number one thing. If you eat well, you feel well, you go out in the world with a positive attitude. Your DD16 leaking oil. Okay, well, I'm a subscriber, so when that comes up, I'll be watching, because I got nothing else to do tomorrow. Like I said, tomorrow, Sunday, I got a little bit more cleaning to do. I'm going to be working a little bit more on my shelving unit here, to give me a little bit more capability. Organizing things, whatnot. Are we making me I might do this a live stream in the morning as well. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But I'm making a bacon omelet with a little bit of cheese, some onion, some green onion, and some bell pepper, red, yellow, and green bell pepper, finely diced in there. Oh man, you're stuck in. Oh wow. Oops. Sorry about that. Hey, but I hear Toronto has some amazing restaurants. So if you're not going to cook, but there you go. Well, like I said, it's always, like I said, $50 for me is a big week of shopping. I mean, I can buy a lot with $50. Alrighty. All right. Oh, sorry, you. All right, sorry, friend, is asking to talk to me, but I told her I'd give her a call back right afterwards. So hopefully she's doing safe. So, all right. So, besides the cooking thing, I had I have a kind of a pet peeve, and any of the truck drivers out here are knowing about. So I'm here. I'm outside It's hot. It's humid. The sun's beating down. I'm doing, cutting my plywood and whatnot. I have not seen his latest one yet. I forget where he's at, but I will be watching Larry later tonight. So there you go. But my next door neighbor comes up to me while I'm out doing my woodworking. Now this gentleman is, I estimated, about 10 years older than I am. He looks like he's approaching it looks like he's approaching around 60, maybe a little bit more. Well, we do have, heavy hauls especially. I can't pick up until Monday. Otherwise, I would have been there. I would have got there yesterday. Or I could have gotten there yesterday, loaded up and gotten out of there. But I wasn't going to make it before the end of the day, before they closed. They wouldn't load today or tomorrow. So Monday I get to load. So, I'm on a reset. I get to do my little project. I get to cook and do all the other stuff. So, it is nice having the extra thing. But back to my little rant here. So my next door neighbor, who's about 10 years older than me, driving a Freightliner, not the newest model, but fair, maybe like 3 or 4 years old, something like that. Approaches me and goes, "Hey, could you give me a hand?" Okay, so what do you need, driver? I need somebody to help me change my headlights. Really? You do not know how to change your headlights? I tried not rolling my eyes and giving a sound, like a fall of disgust, like, ugh. I controlled myself. Sure, no problem, buddy. Let's go take a look at this. Well, apparently one of his headlights burnt out, and, he didn't know how to change the bulb. Well, if you don't know how to change the bulb in your truck or in your car, there's a little book. I'm just going to use this one as an example. This is not the actual book for this truck, but like I said, in your truck, there's a little book. In your car, there's a little book. The owner's manual, the operator's manual, service manual, whatever they want to call it. There's a little book in this, and if you open it up, to the back usually, there's a little index. Let's see, light bulb, page 26. Bam, light bulb. Oh, okay, that's how you change your light bulb. This guy needed help changing a light bulb. Come on. That's some of the stuff we have to deal with out here on the road. Besides being all sweaty and hot and just beaten down by the weather, now, plus I'm cutting wood, so I got sawdust all over me. I got this guy who just can't seem to know how to do something so basic. So that's another reason why I enjoy cooking. Dealing with all the people out there, food is a comfort thing for me. I'm not shooting up the heroin. I'm not smoking the joint. I'm not drinking a fifth of Jack Daniels at night. I eat. That's how you get this loveliness right here. It's just one of the things. Yeah, I do a lot of stress eating. That's how I typically, handle that. I'll eat. Not like I don't smoke, don't drink, don't do drugs. I never have. I never will. I grab me a bag of Cheetos, or a couple of Swiss Miss, Swiss rolls, or Little Debbie Swiss rolls, or I'll make me some burritos, or I'll make some Hungarian, beef, whatnot. Well, see, the truck stop has the bulbs for sale. That was the problem. He had a spare bulb. He just couldn't figure it out how to actually take the old one out and put the new one on. And it's like, but it's just one of the things, like with cooking. It's such a simple thing to do. Why can't or why won't people do it? I mean, I've seen it. There's people out there who refuse to change their own tire. They'll sit there for an hour in sweltering heat or freezing cold waiting for a service guy to come out and change the tire. I don't get it. All right, so here we are. So 35 minutes have passed. This is ready to go. Well, we're going to find out how tender this meat is. So we're going to grab a fork here. We're going to relieve the pressure. Superheated steam. It smells good in here already. Oh, yeah. So we'll see how tender this beef is. All right. So when the pressure finally releases, we can actually open that up. So as soon as that is available, there's a little button right here, little silver button. You can probably just actually see it in the camera there. But as soon as that descends, when the pressure is finally released enough, we can open it up and we will see what we got for tenderness of the beef here. So we're going to move some of this stuff off to the side here real quick, just so we can access it a little bit safer. There we go. Right, so that's gone down. Open that up. Always got to be careful of that hot steam. That's somewhat tender, but we could go a little bit more on that. So let's get a plate out here. We're gonna use our nice thing here. Unfortunately, so yeah, this is not as tender as I want it to be, but the fat is starting to break down a little bit, so let's see what we got. So the fat is breaking up, the tendon's breaking up a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Almost to the point where you can break it apart with a fork. Almost. Still a bit of resistance. But we are going to take this out. We're going to slice this up a little bit. That's going to help to, it's going to help cook a little bit through a little bit faster because we're going to put it back in for a moment. But also it's just going to be easier to eat because we don't have to cut it once we're done. So here we go. There we go. So a little bit of this is how you have to deal with it when you are doing it straight from frozen. So if we had thawed it out a little bit before we put it in the Instapot, this would be super tender. But we went from frozen to show you what would how it would act. There we go. So we're going to cut that in sort of just probably a little bit larger than bite-sized pieces here. So a little bit of the connective tissue is still a bit more firm on this side. There we go. There we go. We're going to taste it. We're going to adjust the seasoning here. Alrighty. So that beef goes back in. We're going to take our onion, throw that right on in. Get all that going there, good. Take a little bit of tomato paste. Adds a little bit more depth of flavor. Yeah, there's several recipes, primarily with chicken for Hungarian with red wine, but red wine goes good with beef as well, so not a bad thing. So we add a little bit of Italian seasoning here. Just gonna get all that herby flavor going on. We're gonna take our beef here, our Hungarian spice here. I can open it up. Add a good portion of that. There we go. There is a little bit of salt in this, but we're going to add just a touch more. There we go. A bit more black pepper. And our potato, we're just gonna quickly cut that up. We're not trying to be super pretty about it. We're just gonna kind of chunk it and just throw it in. It'll be fully cooked by the time we're done. There we go. Throw that on top. And like I said before, we're going to take a little touch of A1 sauce. Okay. There we go. Now, if I wanted to make this even more Hungarian, I would take a little bit of this Vlasic pickle brine, from the pickles. I would throw a little bit of that vinegar in there. But I'm not as big a fan of vinegar in this fashion, so there you go. Sorry, I'm missing some of this. There we go. Yeah, I could put a bit of garlic in there. I didn't even think about that. So let's see. Where is my garlic? Pull that up. Do I have any garlic? Yeah, I got some garlic. Why not? Let's throw a little bit of garlic in there. A bit of minced garlic already. Why not? But let's be bold. Throw a little garlic in there. Good thing you mentioned it. All right, so. Let's see what we're doing. Okay. So we're just going to take a fork. We're just going to stir that around in there. There we go. I think we can go with that. We're going to put that right back on. Meat and stew. Let's hit stop. Let's hit stop. Meat and stew. We're going to put that on for another 20 minutes. And I think we should be good with that. So, technically, no, you cannot have any alcohol on the truck. Now, I have heard stories, all, apocryphal type stuff, but I've heard stories where the DOT officer, state trooper, whatnot, is sitting at the truck stop, watching guys go into the truck stop, into the beer case, whatnot, grabbing some beer, walking back to their truck. I have heard, I don't know how true it is, so please take that as it is. I have heard some people say that if they went in through the driver door, they busted them. If they went in through the passenger door, they didn't bust them. Because you get in through the driver door, you're going to drive. Okay? Like, you can't go the foot and a half from that seat to that seat and start driving, or get up in the morning after you had the beer sitting around for 5 weeks, crack open a beer and start driving, drinking a beer. So I've heard that quote unquote apocryphal rumor myself. I don't know how true it actually is. But I have several recipes that I cook with wine or a whiskey, and I will cook with it. I won't drink it because I don't drink alcohol. But if I ever want to do that kind of recipe, I get myself a long extension cord and I do it outside the truck. That way they they can't bust me on that. I'm not driving. I'm not bringing it inside the vehicle. And because I'm cooking with it, the alcohol is burnt off. No problem, But that's one of those things. I've heard the rumor. I don't know exactly how stringent some of these DOT officers can be. We know how they are. One guy will let you slide, with, your taillight just burned out. You're going to the next truck stop. Yeah, just go get it fixed there. Or, oh, your tire tread is a little bit on the light side. We might let you, we're going to bust you for that, you have a sticker on your window that's all the way at the bottom right-hand corner over on the passenger side, but that's obstructing your view. We're going to nail you on that. Hey, Mr. Nathaniel Lee, how you doing? So, it's all pie in the sky for the most part, but I just look at it as, it's a rule that's out there. You can't be drinking and driving. Some DOT officers are going to be anal about it. So I just eliminate the problem. If I do buy, like I said, if I buy a Burgundy wine, I will be using it immediately. I'll be using a portion of it immediately because I can never get a small, like a half fifth or a pint or whatnot. And I'll use it immediately, but I'll cook it outside. I'll put an extension cord, plug it, and leave it outside. Let it do its thing. Bring it in when I'm done, and then eat it. But the bottle of wine, I'll just dump it out. Hey, I got a bottle of wine. Do you want it? Oh yeah, sure, man. Hey. Then do whatever they want to do with it. That's their problem, But I just eliminate the possibility of there being a problem with that. So. All right, so things like that, are a pain in the neck. So those are the kind of rules that make really not a whole lot of sense, but it's the rules we got to follow. So I err on the side of caution that DOT officer or that state trooper is going to be a jerk. When I found out that I could get a ticket just for having it unopened in the truck and it's not cargo, I just said to myself, I'm not gonna risk it. When I'm doing those dishes that have red wine or white wine or whiskey in them, I just won't risk it. I'll just cook outside the truck and use as much of it as I can. So I don't know. I can't explain what goes on in their heads. So there you go. Alrighty. Well, good to have you. So, we got, like I said, once this gets back up to proper pressure and temperature, we'll deal with it there. We'll see how the sauce comes out. And we'll make the adjustments there. But I want to thicken it up a little bit, so let's see. I think I have. Nope, not in there. Not in there. Here we go. We got the Wondra flour. Great for a gravy. Let's see what we got in here. Canned milk, water chestnuts, ramen. What is this? Tuna, flour, baked beans, kippers, chicken spread, brownie mix, dried spaghetti, popcorn, cinnamon, curry powder, Ritz crackers. So I got enough in dry food, that I don't have to worry about it. So okay, this finally reached proper pressure and temperature. So 20 minutes. We'll see what we're going to do. If we need to thicken the gravy a little bit, we're going to use the Wondra flour to do that. We're going to put this away because I don't need this anymore. Now, this is something that most people don't do, but I love Vlasic kosher dill pickles. That's good. Alrighty. So, we got a couple more minutes to do that. Anybody wants to come on? Let me put the link up there again. Want to come on and talk? Be my guest. Go ahead and get your camera set up and come on in. Got no problem with that? All right. But other than that, not too bad. I mean, I got the weekend off. There's a little bit, yeah, but it still tastes too damn good to pass up. But the thing is, you want to make a knockoff version of a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. Save that brine. Take your chicken thighs, put them in there for a day or so. Take them out, pat them dry, bread them, deep fry them. Very close to what Chick-fil-A has. Always love cooking. Cooking is, I prefer cooking more than almost anything else in the world. Learning to play guitar, gardening, reading, cooking, bicycle riding, sailing. Those are the things that I really enjoy. Alrighty, so tomorrow, like I said, in the morning, I'm going to do a bacon omelet, onion, or yellow onion, green onion, a little bit of bell pepper, 3 different colors, bacon, a bit of American cheese, 3 eggs, done right here in the truck, a nice little omelet. If I didn't use the potato in the meal tonight, I would have made a hash brown tomorrow. And that's an easy way to go. But it's still better than going to the Huddle House or the Denny's all the time. If I actually had a refrigerator that had the capacity, a freezer with the capacity, I would pre-make some meals. But because I don't own the truck, I can't modify it the way I want it. Oh, pardon me. That makes me make those compromises. So I'll get 2 meals out of this dish tonight. Out of this 3-quart Instant Pot, I can sometimes, if I do a beef stew, I do chili, I can get 4 meals out of this. Easy. Now, I have some Tupperware, I have some Ziploc bags. I have things like that where I can, I can contain them and put them in the refrigerator if I got space. But, oh yeah. Well, the thing is, I like cauliflower with a little, just nicely steamed, just tender, a little bit of soy sauce on that. That's fantastic. I prefer making my own coleslaw and getting a good cabbage that way. The thing that I'm really sick about with a cruciferous vegetable, broccoli. I hate that every single place you go to, broccoli is their #1 vegetable. They will serve broccoli with every damn meal if they could. Well, that's the thing, there are times where we're on the road, we don't have the time to cook. We don't have, we worked a 14-hour day or whatnot. We've been up since 3 a.m. because the receiver wanted us there in the morning, and they delayed us 9 hours. We only have a little bit left, and they're calling us at the last minute. And like I said, we can't sleep because we got to be able to move the truck out of the dock or whatnot. And our schedule is really a messed up schedule, so we don't always have the time to do so. But that necessitates some time. I need something to eat. I'm not against going in to the restaurant. I'm just saying that it's nowhere near as good. I'm never going to come out satisfied. You know? And very rarely am I ever really satisfied. Okay, so right across the street, I have an Arby's. Arby's makes one of the best fish sandwiches available at a fast food place. You know, if you want a really good burger, quote, burger joint, you know, fast food restaurant fish sandwich, Arby's is the place to go. But unfortunately, they don't have it all the time. But when they do have it, I'm in there. McDonald's is eh. Burger King's is eh. Wendy's is eh. But when I want a really good fish sandwich, I go to Arby's. Or even better, I get some fish fillet from the grocery store, put it in my freezer, and make it here in the truck. I get the tartar sauce I want. I get the bread I want. I get the other accoutrement to it I want. So there you go. Yeah, I've had my share of local work done already. When I was at my first job, I did a lot of local stuff. So, doing local in Chicago, not fun. Downtown Lexington, Kentucky, not fun. Downtown Memphis, not fun. Downtown Detroit, with a Volvo 670 with a sleeper. It's like a 250 wheelbase, a 53-foot dry van on the back, delivering carpet, tile, furniture, flooring. Delivering that downtown in like I said, like Chicago, Detroit, Memphis, not fun. I've had my share of local work to do. That's why I do the heavy haul, the oversized, construction equipment, and agricultural equipment. That's the primary thing we haul at this company. Which is a lot nicer and a lot easier job. I mean, the truck driving has been the easiest job I've ever had. I mean, yeah, more time, yes. A constantly fluctuating schedule, yes. Not always knowing where I'm going, yes. But I spend so much time sitting and waiting. I don't know why anybody ever complains. You know, I'm definitely not go back to do local work unless I, own my own piece of property up in Montana, which is what I'm working on. But I enjoy the job that I do. So that's the biggest thing. Oh, man. I cannot wait to eat. All right, another 10 minutes. This should be done. So, we are going to get ourselves another green onion here. Let me find one that's a little bit better looking here. Yeah, that was a little bit greener. Grab that one here. We'll put this one back. Excuse me. All right. And nothing else to do. Let's see what we got here. So, we got a thing of apple butter, which I picked up a while ago. Still haven't cracked into. We'll do that sooner or later. So, along with the meal itself, we're going to take, I picked up this, I forget where I got it from. I believe I picked this up from an Albertsons. So we got a little bit of tomato basil pasta sauce. We're going to put a little dab of this on the top when we're done. When we're plating up. So, yeah, right. Grab my plate here, or my cutting board. So we're going to trim this up here a little bit. Let's see, trim that one right there. I'll cut that one back here because that's not looking so hot. So we're going to put a little bit of green onion on top as well. A little bit of garnish, add a little bit of that, a little bit of zest to it. Take off that outer leaf, which is, like I said, the part that's exposed, part that's going to dry out the first, part that's everybody kind of manhandles. Nope. There we go. Okay. So we are, like I said, just gonna that last little bit of outer skin off, that outer leaf. Come on, there we go. I think we got it now. So we're just gonna do a nice thin slice on this. A little bit easier if I had a bigger knife. I could control a little bit better, but it's all about what space you have. Not everybody's going to have a 9-inch chef knife like I do, but show you how it can be done. So we'll set that off to the side real quick. There we go. That'll be good right there for the moment. All right, so 7 minutes to go on this. We got everything pretty much ready. We are going to make a poor man's garlic bread here. We're going to use a tortilla. We're going to take we'll take 2 tortillas. Why not? Why not? Just set that right there for the moment. We'll have 2 less burritos the next time. All right, set that right there up there. There we go. Okay. We got a plate here, a hot plate, which we're going to use. And we have a pan around here somewhere. There we go. Yeah, here we go. Like I said, we're going to make a poor man's garlic bread with some tortillas. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of lucky. I get to drive the old classic 389. So there you go. All right. So we need a little bit of the garlic. Get that out. No, actually, you know what? We don't have to do that. We have garlic herb butter. We can just use that straight up. Here we go. So, Kerrygold, which is the butter I prefer. My world, my way, Helen. How are you doing? So we got the garlic and herb butter. You can see it there, chock full of the herbs. So we're gonna, what we're going to do is we're going to take a good chunk of this, put it in the pan, get it melted, throw the tortillas on top, swirl it around, flip them over, get them a little bit crisp, and we will make that our meal. Like I said, we're going to add a little bit of the green onion on top. And we're going to put a little dollop of the tomato sauce on there as well. And since I'm not an old Hungarian grandma, I can't exactly attest that this is You know, I can't exactly attest that it's truly authentic Hungarian, but we're using Hungarian spices. We're using some of the things that I've learned over there. I don't know if, I mean, it's Irish butter, you know, Kerrygold. I mean, I would think you'd have a little bit easier time getting it than I do, but there you go. But any grass-fed butter is the better butter. It's even the best butter is the one you make yourself. You control the salt, you control the herbs, you control the tanginess. If you want to make it a little bit sour, you know. Hey, no problem, Diana. Just thank you for coming in. Hopefully you catch the replay later to see the final product. But have a good, safe night. Well, Josh, you can spec any truck with any engine you want. You know, if you want to, if Caterpillar still made an engine, people will still be begging for those. You can get a Packard engine in a Peterbilt. You can get, you know, you can put a Mack engine, a Volvo engine. You can put a Cummins in there. It's whatever you spec. They'll do it for you. Like I said, but any butter, you know, butter is such an easy thing to make. If you have small children, like 4, 5, 7 years old, you give them a mason jar with a good tight sealing lid, fill it about halfway full of heavy whipping cream, 35% fat, and you give it to them, you tell them, here, shake this up. You let them shake it up until all the fat congeals together, and then you take it out, you separate the buttermilk from the butter, you put it into a bowl, you take a wooden spoon, you beat it up, push out all the excess moisture out of it, you put that in there, you add a little bit of salt, you add some herbs, fresh butter, made yourself, so easy. Penske trucks. Yeah, I've seen them on the road. I never want to be in that position to drive one of those. So I got 1 more minute for this. What I need is a ladle. Yeah. Let's see, I got a ladle up here somewhere. There you go. We got a ladle. Yes. We'll put that battery right there. I don't lose it. All right, so this is almost done. We're gonna see how the gravy is. We'll see if we. Oh yeah, making butter is super easy. Super easy. Like I said, if you got small children, you want to entertain them, you want to teach them a lesson, and you want to wear them out for nap time. You know, not a problem. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to go ahead and unplug that because we don't need that on anymore. Plug in our hot plate. There we go. Once we check on this, and we're going to see how that meat is tender, become a little more tender. Then we'll adjust the gravy thickness, see how it is. Then we'll get that plated up. Before we do that, we'll get our poor man's garlic bread done, and we'll go from there. Yeah, after 10 years, I would say you get a little bit of leaking going on. There's, if you haven't had a full engine rebuild, replace them seals. Yeah, you're going to have some leaking. All right, that button is starting to go down very slowly, but as soon as that silver button right here, that little right there, as soon as that goes down, we will be able to open that up and see what we can see. hopefully it came out pretty good. Yep, there it's starting to go. A little bit more. So we are going to get ourselves prepared here. Had a fork in there. We're just going to accelerate the pressure exhaustion a little bit. All right. A million kilometers. There you go. All right, we should be able to open this up now. Here we go. Let's move this out the way here. There we go. That out the way. And boom. Let's take a little scoop of this. All right. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. I'm going to leave the soup, the sauce alone. We'll leave it more like a soup. I like the way that looks. So we're going to put that in there real quick, just for the moment. That way when we plate up, it's still going to be nice and hot. So we're going to put that on there. Here we go. We're going to get our hot plate going here. Grab me a kitchen towel. Get that water out of there. Okay. Dry that off there. Margaret Storms, how you been doing? Well, I see. I'm not one of those people that mind if you watch and don't comment. I appreciate that. The fact that you are watching. I do appreciate it. So like I said, we got our Kerrygold garlic and herb butter. Gonna take a good chunk of that, throw that in there, get that starting to melt. And like I said, we're gonna take our 2 tortillas. This is gonna be our garlic bread. Nomad Outdoor Adventure and Travel Sews. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. So once we get the butter melted, we'll get the tortillas in there. Once we got those to a nice little browned, toasty, thing, we'll get that off. We're gonna cut that into a little bit of triangle. We'll do like 6 pieces on each one. All right, so I got a universal lid. Help to raise that temperature in there a little bit. There we go. Stick that over out the way. There we go. Get that out the way. We don't need to be burning that up. So unfortunately, I don't have the ability to do multiple things at once. So, I have to do things in a little bit more stages. If I had a 4-burner stove and I had plenty of outlets and plenty of power, I'd have all this going at the same time. It would go a lot faster, definitely. All right. Oh, that's smelling good. That garlic butter is smelling good. So let that melt and let some of that water that's still in the butter evaporate. That's what the bubbling is. Almost ready. Almost ready. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Go. We're going to quickly turn that over so the one side doesn't absorb it all. That, there we go. We're going to flip this one over as well, like that. Flip that over there, like that. Flip that over like that. Come on. This is why I use chopsticks. A little bit easier to manipulate stuff. There we go. So now we got those all, both sides of both of those covered with the oil, with the butter and the garlic and the herbs and the garlic and whatnot. So we're going to do that. Oh man! Let's poke a little hole in that so that doesn't keep puffing up like that. See if I can grab me a pair of chopsticks here and make it a little bit easier to manage this. Right. So we want to get that a little bit toasty. I think we have enough butter in there, but we're just going to set this aside. And if we need to grab it real quick, we'll just set it right here on top of the pickle jar. All right. So this is a little bit longer than I usually go for cooking, but since, like I said, we started from absolute frozen chunks of chuck roast. So if you can see that little bit of browning on there, so that's what we're looking for. A little bit crispy. So we're going to flip that over that way. Get that temperature raised back up by putting the lid on there. All right. So that shouldn't take too long, so we're going to go ahead and get our beef out here. Yes. So beef, onion, a little bit of potato. Oh, that'll be enough right there. Grab a little bit of sauce. Like I said, I was going to thicken it up, but I think I'll just save it just as it is. Oh, that smells good. All right. I need well, we got a bowl here to put our ladle in, so we're good to go. Yes. Let's go ahead and flip that over. There we go. That's browned. I'll flip that over that way. Bing, bang, boom. Set that right there. Like I said, a little tiny dollop of the tomato paste, of this tomato sauce. You know, whatever pasta sauce you really like. Just a touch. We're not trying to, we just want to bring a little bit of sweetness to this. Wow, that's basil-y. Where'd you hide the lid on me? Oh, here's the lid. That's not very nice, hiding the lid on me. We'll just set that right there for a moment. Now let's see what we got here. We'll give this one more flip. And our garlic bread is almost done, so we're going to unplug that. Go ahead and turn that off. I don't need that anymore. We're going to take our little bit of green onion. Put that right on top there. We'll put the rest in this bowl here. I got a little bit too much. All right. Stick all those. Oh, these utensils. We'll stick it over here for a moment. All right. Yeah, we're going to get our thing all set here. So set that off to the side. Hopefully don't spill all over the bed, but we do what we can. Okay. So our bread is done. Bing, bang, boom. 2 tortillas. I'm just going to... Come on. Whew. Flip that over that way. Cut it in thirds this way. Oh, man, that's hot. That's hot. Because it just came out of the hot pan, dummy. There we go. Set that right there. That right there. And here we go. So a little bit, we're going to throw this in here like this. A little bit of Hungarian braised beef. Just a small dab of tomato paste. Bring a little sweetness to it. Onions, a little potato in there. Green onion for a garnish. A little bit of garlic bread. Which this is one of the longest lives I've done. Put that lid on there so we don't accidentally burn ourselves. But that's not too bad looking, I think. Not too shabby for making this in a truck. I'm just going to stir that tomato paste in there a little bit. Like I said, we don't want straight tomato sauce in our, going on. So, a little beef, a little onion. Let me grab a little bit of the potato there. A little bit of that green onion. A little bit of the soup. Like I said, I was going to do that, but here we go. Oh man, nothing edited. How you doing? So like I said, a little Hungarian beef. Something a little bit different you're not going to get at the truck stop. So here we go. A little bit of tortilla as a garlic bread. I love it. So I want to thank everybody for coming in. This is not done to a recipe. It's done just to what I know of flavors and how things work. So we're going to have a nice meal here. It is, wow, it's going on 7 o'clock here. So 2 hours. Just about, which is about the longest I typically go. A little bit of beef, a little bit of onion, potato, just what you have on hand, plus the seasoning. So tender, you almost don't need to chew it. I mean, this is akin to a goulash almost. Or a bijou. I think it's like a Polish stew. But it's so easy to do. So hopefully everybody enjoys. Just do what you want to do. Just always have a good time. All right, Salty Dog. See you later. My World, My Way, Helen. Nothing Edited. Margaret Storms. Josh Wormke. Nothing Edited. Nomad Outdoor Adventure and Travel Show. I can do it in a truck. You can do it in an RV. Nathaniel Lee, thank you very much. Everybody for coming in. And as usual, God's grace, mercy, and blessing to each and every one of you. Have a good day today. Have a great day tomorrow. And let's have a good, safe week upcoming. Thank you all for coming in. Tomorrow, 2 live streams for cooking. 1 in the morning, bacon omelet. In the evening, teriyaki chicken. So until then, thank you very much. Same time, same bat channel, same bat time. Thank you all for coming in. I do appreciate it.